What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. This video has been a long time coming. I'm finally going to do something with this room that's in my warehouse. It's 15 feet by 15 feet or 225 square feet. It's about the size of a one-car garage. It's a little bit bigger than your standard bedroom, which is 11 by 12 feet. But I'm going to try to be really conservative with space in here and build what I call like a perfect eBay store. Now, inside this, I'll be able to store 2,000 items comfortably and a photo station and a ship station. So I'm going to put up a graphic here of how I'm going to store the items. It's designed for 2,000 items storage and a listing habit of 10 per day. $20 profit per item, so $70,000 per year. Now, I know Tech and Sports said that 13 items per day times 20 is 6 figures, and inside this, there is enough room to do 13, but personally, I'm just doing a round number of 10 so that I can list 70 per week. I think that's really realistic for a lot of people who are doing this part-time or with a full-time job, or if you're doing this full-time, it gives you the benefit of being out to go look for amazing items all week and just spend a little bit of time listing and processing. So inside of this space, I actually have enough room for, this is going to surprise people, but basically you can list any kind of item. If you want to be an everything seller, you can. This will be specific for shoe and clothing sellers in a sense that that's what I'm going to be selling in here, but you could sell lamps, coffee mugs, paintings, whatever you want in the same system. It's just going to be less items are going to fit on the shelf than clothing, which is really efficient. I'm going to be using 30 by 8 by 8 boxes on 4 U-line shelves inside of here. And shoes, 11 shoes will fit per box, and about 20 clothing items will fit per box. I'm also going to have a rolling Z-rack for jackets and coats that are too big to stuff into the boxes, which I can stuff it in there, but it takes up the space of 20 shirts. So I'm just going to have one rolling Z-rack. And from running it all Z-rack versus all boxes, I've done both. I just want to say up front, it is easier with all Z-racks, just takes up more space. A lot of people, including Tech and Sports, were bin life or box life before transitioning into a space with more. But I really want this to be something that people can see when they come here and visit the shop in person. Last week I had 4 people come and watch me list, and I listed 35 items in 41 minutes and took 35 sets of photos in 31 minutes, so about an hour and a half. So I'm actually going to do that twice a week in my Poshmark closet. I'm currently still suspended on eBay, so I'm going to do it on Poshmark, and I think that the results should be much better on eBay because eBay has 100 times literally more traffic than Poshmark. There's a lot more people who use the platform, and eBay is designed for anything that you want to sell. Poshmark is mainly just shoes and clothing, so hopefully your sell-through rate is much better. I'm going to have 2,000 items in this store, hoping to list and sell 10 items per day. So we're doing the $8 and the $30 model here, so $30 plus shipping. On Poshmark, because the fees are a little bit higher than eBay, I'm going to actually try to average $35 with a $8 buy cost. So that means $8 is what I'm paying for the item. If I sell it for $35 on Poshmark, their 20% fee leaves me with $28, which is $20 over my buy cost. So in theory, we're going to have 2,000 $20 bills listed in this store, and I'm not going to hide anything. All of my bad buys I'm going to cheap sell on my store. So my Poshmark closet is poshmark.com/resellerNirvana. That's the name of my closet. Inside there, you'll see I've already made 2 mistakes. I listed a pair of Danskos that I bought that were not in very good condition, but I couldn't tell because I buy all my items from the flea market and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So all my defects, you'll see that I cheap sell. I sold that Dansko pair of clogs for $15. I bought a pair of what I thought were really cool Merrell men's boots, but they were missing the insole and I didn't check while I was out there in the flea market. So I cheap sold those for $16, but my actual buy cost on shoes is about $4 at the flea market. A lot of the shoes are rough, so inside this, I'm actually going to have a little space that I can also clean shoes, prep clothing. So inside here, I'll have a flat lay for clothing. I'll have a little photo box for shoes. I'll have a rack with 168 capacity for shoes, and I want to just make sure I never overbuy. A lot of people get in trouble overbuying, including myself, but in this tiny space, there's no room for error. So I feel like a rolling rack for shoes is great for temporary storage, so I don't want to overbuy, so I'll never have more than 2 weeks of shoes on that rack, and I'm going to use it also as a drying rack. So rack items will come in, I'll unload it onto the the rack. I'm gonna clean them, put them back on the rack to dry. Then I'm gonna list them, put them in plastic bags, put them in the box system. I'll have 2 rows of 2 shelves, so 4 Husky shelf systems. And I have one area in the back corner where I'm gonna fold clothing to around 140 to 200 pieces back there. So that's, again, around 2 weeks of a listing queue. I think if you have items and no plan to list them, that's more of a death pile. This is more of a listing queue where, because I have such a small space and I want to show people that you can do this at home, I really want to condense it to not overbuying. So you'll have a clothing area, a flat lay photo area, a photo box area for shoes, a shipping area, a bagging area, and a place to put the SKU on it. 140 unlisted shoes. Again, it's a 15 by 15 space, 225 square feet. Right now, we'll do some B-roll of how messy it is in here, which is really exciting because I'm currently using this room for storage. So inside here, I have Pokemon cards. For those that are wondering, my graded cards did come back, but I don't have time, so haven't even opened the boxes. I'm probably gonna get to it in September. I know that sounds crazy, but that is when my second baby enters in childcare, and I don't have time right now. My days are really, really busy, so I want to show people what it looks like when it's raw, because everyone out here trying to pretend like there's something they're not. I always say everyone's a big pile of garbage. Some people are just better at hiding it than others. When I did the event on Friday, I squeezed this event into my normal day, which is already insane. So people came in, had donuts and coffee, watched me list 35 items. I didn't even have what items I was going to list, and I didn't have a photo station set up. I had nothing. I had to just go on the fly and do the best I can with what I had. You'll see me do this event every single Friday for the rest of the year. By the end, it'll be this well-lubricated, fast-paced machine. And ideally, in this room, I'll be able to hire somebody to help me if I want to. But to be honest, running this 10-a-day store should just take me 4 hours a week to list 70 items, and then half an hour to an hour a day of customer service. Not very much. And again, I'm open to feedback. I'm pretty transparent, so let me know on Poshmark. You can comment and ask me a question. You can email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com. I think a lot of people are in this bucket trying to earn $70,000 a year, and I think that number is like the number that you're supposed to be happy at. 70K and over. If you're a household income, 2 people making 70K or over, you should be able to figure out how to be happy at that amount. It's a little bit over the average median of what people make in the United States, but 10 listings a day, $20 profit each. I'm gonna list every single item correctly the first time, so I don't have to spend any time going back and adjusting or doing anything. I'm just gonna take my time. 10 a day is not a lot of items, so list it right the first time and you don't have to worry about it until it sells. I'm currently using the tool Flip to share my items, although people were showing me that Poshmark does have a bulk sharing feature that is now free built into the website. So I'm going to mainly be using Flip to send offers, offer to likers, automate a little bit of that process. I've been using Flip for a long time. They're just down the street, so plug in them as well in this video. They're not an official sponsor of this video, but I do think the tool is cool, and I don't recommend you spend any money on services like that. I would rather you buy the most premium items to put in your store. So 3 things I want to talk about is supply, storage, and sell-through rate. So I'm working with a fixed space here, 15 by 15. I'm gonna focus on items I can make $20 profit. So on Poshmark, I can sell for $35 and over. And then finally, sell-through rate. I wanna sell 10, list 10 with 2,000 items in my store, which is a 0.5% sell-through rate. That's the worst I want my store to perform because I only have this space. If I cannot get 10 sales per day with 2,000 items in this room, I have failed because I don't want to go beyond this. There's no reason to have a bigger and bigger and bigger store. You want to have a store that produces the result that you want with the space that you have. If you have a smaller space, you might want to choose a smaller niche like cards or jewelry or watches, something that is more expensive per square foot. So this is going to sound wild, but to make this space more efficient, I would actually eliminate shoes. Shoes take up a lot more space than clothing. So if you have a really tight space, I'm not picking clothing because I like clothing. I could care less. I basically wear $1 thrifted clothing that I find. At this point, it's all about just building a business that works. And I have 4 hours a week I could spend on this. So I love having this here. So when people come, they can watch the very beginning of the series when I was taking pictures on a picnic table, and they can come back and see a fully fleshed out idea in person. So this is episode 1 of this series of the Perfect eBay Store. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.